Information shared on the following program is for general information purposes only. It does not constitute legal, tax, investment, or other advice, nor is it intended to recommend any particular investments, products, or financial instruments. Always seek advice from your financial advisor, attorney, or accountant with regard to investment, legal, or tax questions.
Last week on the Worry-Free Retirement, we started off our show with this cute little jingle, this public service announcement about playing it safe.
Buckle up for safety, buckle up. Buckle up for safety, always buckle up. Put your mind at ease, tell your riders, please get your seatbelts buckled, everybody buckle up.
Well, buckle up for safety again as we share 3 examples of what you can do to save on taxes before 2025 when these current low tax rates expire.
Welcome to the only show in the country dedicated to helping savers worry less about money, the Worry-Free Retirement, with your host, nationally recognized retirement specialist and 6-time author and fiduciary, Tony Walker.
Imagine you are minding your own business, driving down the highway, when all of a sudden your car's GPS alerts you to the fact that the road is closed ahead due to a major accident.
The road is closed ahead. Make a right at the next intersection.
After hearing this dire news, would you buckle up for safety, keep driving down the same road and hope for the best, or take the advice of the GPS and take an alternate route? Well, assuming you hate sitting in stalled traffic as much as I do, I'm assuming you would follow the lead of your GPS, get off the road you're on currently, and take another route. Well, the same thing can happen and can be said for today's topic and the idea of buckling up your money for possible tax increases that could be just around the corner, as we will witness the lowest tax rates in history expire in the year 2025. And what will happen if you don't change your financial course and heed the warning of today's show? Well, all I can say is if you get stalled out with your money in 2025 watching taxes possibly go up, don't say I didn't warn you. Which is the purpose of today's show as I examine 3 different case studies and what it will cost if in fact the politicians in Washington let these current rates expire and go back to the higher rates in 2017. So, let's get started. Well, welcome folks to the Worry-Free Retirement. And yes, I am that little man in the sweater vest, retirement planning specialist and navigational fiduciary, Tony Walker. And before we share in detail 3 case studies of how your taxes may go through the roof in 2025, let me introduce 2 young lads in the Worry-Free production studios who hate getting stuck in traffic as much as I do. America's favorite financial sidekick, Mr. Aaron Orander, along with Louisville, Kentucky's most laid-back graphics artist, Mr. Derek Hudson. Okay, last week on our show, we introduced this major financial road closure, which could take place just a few miles down the road as current tax rates, some of the lowest I've seen in nearly 40 years in this business, will expire in the year 2025, which is just around the corner. And while no one knows for sure what will happen to the taxes owed on your retirement accounts after 2025, my guess is that with over $31 trillion in debt and climbing, your retirement account and the taxes you will owe on it will be easy pickings for the politicians to latch onto. I mean, if you were that politician looking for money to pay down the debt, wouldn't you? So what might things look like for your 401k, your IRA, 403b, TSP, and yes, even that lump sum pension you're thinking about taking out? What will happen if these tax rates expire in 2025 and go back to the rates in 2017? Well, quite frankly, for those who do not have a ton of money in pre-tax retirement accounts, higher tax rates may not be that big of a deal. But for those of you who have at least $250,000 in retirement assets or more, well, you need to stay tuned to see what higher taxes might do to your future retirement income as I go to the whiteboard today. And we're going to look at 3 different case studies and what might happen after 2025. So grab a pen and piece of paper. You're going to probably want to take some notes. I'm Tony Walker. We'll be right back. Have you recently retired, been laid off, or offered a pension buyout? Has the company you work for moved, been acquired, or closed its doors forever? And finally, do you have a 401k with a previous employer you'd like to move to safer territory? Then take advantage of this opportunity to move your 401k or lump sum pension to Tony Walker Financial. Let's meet in person to discuss your retirement options. Log on now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com to schedule your free, no obligation appointment. Let us help you today. Welcome back to the WorryFree Retirement. Our Live Well, Die Broke moment features our third of 4 client appreciation events for the clients of Tony Walker Financial this year. This one at the brand new Top Golf facility in Louisville, Kentucky, where some 250 of our clients enjoyed a night of fun and frolics while spraying golf balls all over the place. Good thing for those high nets. While me and Louisville, Kentucky's most laid-back graphics artist, Derek Hudson, mingled with the clients and in fact got some video of our clients and things they enjoyed about working with Tony Walker Financial, like this one. Okay, we're here at our client event with Top Golf with Keith Carnes. Keith, you having fun?
I'm having an awesome time. I can't hit the golf ball very good, but I'm having a good fun time, and the food's been delicious.
And you and your wife have a YouTube channel. What's that called again?
It's called Retired and Loving It. We upload every Friday a travel video, and we do a coffee talk every Sunday.
Awesome. And I think you had a quick question. How many clients do we have at Tony Walker Financial? You ready?
We see so many people around here, it has to be about in thousands.
Yeah, we've got right at 3,000 people. We've got over 200 people here at Top Golf and more client events to come. So thank you for your business.
Thank you, Tony.
And enjoy yourself.
We are. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, as promised, we have 3 case studies to share as to what might happen when, listen, not if, when the lowest tax rates in history are expiring in the year 2025. So let's take a look at all 3, and then I'm going to go to the whiteboard and go in some detail so we can see what's going to happen if, in fact, they go back to 2017, which we don't know for sure, but that's the assumption I'm going to make. The first example is a married couple age 73. They're married, filing jointly. Total taxable income is $77,000. They have $500,000 collectively in an IRA. Again, most of you who have $250,000 or more in retirement assets are going to need to take note of this. Their RMD, they just turned 73, is going to be about $18,000 a year, which brings their taxable income to $96,000. All right, case study number 2, same situation. A married couple age 73, but notice their IRA and their taxable income is much higher. Taxable income of $156,000, an IRA of $1 million, which means their RMD is double. It's almost $38,000, bringing their taxable income up to $193,000. And of course, we're going to show you the effects of the current law and what happens if it goes back to the old law. And finally, this is an interesting case. A lot of people who are savers do not like to have debt in retirement. And they'll come to me many times and say, hey, Tony, what if we just take a big withdrawal from our IRA or 401k? We know we're going to take a tax hit, but what would happen if we did that? So we're going to show you an example of a married couple age 65 who has $89,000 of current income, taxable income, $1 million in IRA money, but they want to pay off a mortgage of $250,000. So I've got my cheat notes here. We're going to go over to the whiteboard, and this could get a little complicated. I apologize, folks. All I can say is I didn't write these tax laws. I'm just trying to help you understand them. So our own Timothy T.J. Reagan in the Bowling Green office ran these numbers for me. So I'm not going to put so much detail that it's going to overwhelm you. I'm just trying to show you the effects. Again, when these tax laws expire in 2025, if the politicians, which we don't know what they'll do, but if the politicians go back to 2017 tax laws, what might this look like? So case 1, all right, we're going to go over the tax rates. Now keep in mind, I'm going to just do this for the first one. I'm not going to do it for all of them because it'll take a minute. There's ranges, okay? In 2017, the tax ranges are 10%, this is important, you're going to see this, 15%, and 25%. These are called tax brackets. Now compare those, put up full screen here, in the current tax laws and the current what I call tax bracket creep. All right, take a look at that. Now let's come back to the whiteboard. Notice already that in 2023, currently, it's 10%, look at this, 12%, and then it goes to 22%. So let's pay attention here. Depending on your levels of income, all right, In fact, and it's probably going to be better to put this up full screen and walk back and forth. Notice in 2023, anything between $0 and $22,000 of taxable income will only be taxed at 10%. But look at what they did if they go back to 2017. That income limit drops to $19,050, meaning less will be exposed to 10%, and you're going to go up more quickly into the 15% bracket versus under current law going up into a 12% bracket, and then it continues on. The next bracket, again, ends at 77 for the old rates. It ends at 89 for the new rates, which is bad news if they go back to 2017, because then you're going to creep up more quickly into the 25% bracket. I hope you understand this is not looking good. So in this example, again, we have $96,000 of total taxable income. Under under current rates, that would be right at $11,000, almost $12,000 in federal taxes. So under this scenario in 2025, with the parameters I just gave you, they're going to owe about $11,700 in federal taxes. But what about if they went back to the 2017 laws? What would that tax be? That tax would be $15,374. That's a difference of what, $3,500? I mean, I don't know about you, but there's a lot you can do with $3,500 a year. That's just money that is immediately gone out of your pockets instead of investing or spending that money. So this is a huge issue. Let's kind of walk over to case 2. The difference in case 2, remember, is this person or couple, again, is age 73. They got $1 million IRA. They've also got more taxable income. We could assume it's pensions and maybe some rental income, but they just have higher taxable income. Plus their RMD is going to be double. They got to take out that RMD. Remember, folks, you can put off the pain all you want to, but eventually the government's going to make you pay these taxes, and they do that at age 73 with the RMD. So let's take a look at this. Same situation. You know, we got 10% bracket here, 10% here. All's well, but all of a sudden things get ugly. Tax brackets start going up higher if they go back to the old laws. All right. And in this case, we've got more RMD, more taxable income. So under the old law, okay, let's compare what would happen if it goes back to the old law by comparing it to the new law. Under the new laws, before they expire, the total tax in this example would be $33,332. That's quite a bit of money in federal taxes. Again, that's under current law. But what if in 2025 these laws they will expire and they go back to 2017? This is a pretty big jump. It goes up to around $40,900. Now that's getting into some big increases. What is that? That's about $7,500. So now that's a couple of trips that Aaron and his family could have taken to Destin or whatever. Folks, these are getting into some big numbers. And the point being, you have time to try to plan for 2025. You don't have to just sit there. You can meet with somebody like us at Tony Walker Financial. Let us set up a game plan and see if there's something we can do to help you. So if you have at least $250,000 in retirement assets, now this could be a 401k, IRA, 403b, TSP, maybe it's a lump sum pension, it doesn't matter. We can help you attack these costs and try to keep more money in your pocket. So if that's you, if you're retired, nearing retirement, maybe you've even got an old 401k from a previous employer you haven't done anything with and need a plan, why don't you do this right now? Log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com, TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Click on that Let's Get Started. Let's set up that free phone call to see if we can help you keep more of your money in your pocket. All right, the next case, we're going to come back, take a quick break. This is a doozy. This is an example I see time and time again where savers want to be debt-free in retirement. They want to get money out of that tax-infested 401k, pay off the debt now. Well, what will that cost today? Pretty expensive, but you're not going to believe the numbers you're going to see if you wait to do this after 2025, assuming tax rates go up. I'm Tony Walker. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with case number 3. Y'all enjoying yourself at Topgolf tonight?
Yeah, having a ball, having a ball.
Brand new clients, right? How's the experience been working with Tony Walker Financial?
Great.
And he's double dipping, Topgolf, and he came to the Corvette Museum, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, appreciate your business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here at our third client event, one more to go. This is at Topgolf in Louisville, Kentucky. Got over 200 people here, just having a great time. As you can see behind me, the food's going quick and the golf is going even quicker. As much as you may love golf, you surely wouldn't risk your life by playing in conditions like this. Well, neither should you be risking your 401k by investing it all in the stock market. If you're retired, retiring soon, or going through a corporate downsize, keep your ball in the fairway by moving over your 401k to Tony Walker Financial and learn how to safeguard your money today. To learn more about our process and getting started, just log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Thumbing through my latest book, The WorryFree Retirement Process, and just really proud of this book. You know, I've written several books over the years, and a lot of books are a little more theory, conceptual, about the story of Tony Walker Financial and what we do. This one has got a lot of bones in there, a lot of stuff of what we do, even some of our proprietary forms. Order this book. I think it's going to really help you think through what you need to be doing for a worry-free retirement. All right. In our time remaining, here's the case we're on. This is an interesting example. Let me go over it again. When many people are retiring, especially if they are savers, remember folks, this show is geared towards savers. We're not tailoring our information to investors and speculators. Most savers do not like a lot of debt, if any debt, in retirement. So many times they'll come to me and they'll say, Tony, I've got this big IRA. In this case, we've got a 65-year-old couple. They got $1 million collectively in an IRA, and they got this $250,000 mortgage, and they don't want to be straddled with debt. Remember, folks, retirement planning is cash flow. So if they have a mortgage payment of, let's say, principal and interest of $1,200 a month, and they figure they can pay it off, that's $1,200 a month after tax we don't have to come up with. So these are the types of things a retirement planning specialist such as us can help you with. But there are a lot of ramifications with this. This is a huge decision. So remember, if you're just now joining us, the tax rates today will expire in 2025, some of the lowest I've ever seen, all right? If they go back to the 2017 rates, which we don't know, but that's what a lot of people are thinking, in this example, what will happen and what will be the increase in taxes? So let's walk over. We're on case number 3. Really interesting scenario. Again, remember the tax rates right now. They're called progressive tax rates, meaning the more you make, the more they take. And if you'll notice over here, the rates for 2027, see how they progressively go up, and the income associated with those comes down, meaning you're going to hit these higher brackets more quickly if we go back to the 2017 rate, which is not good. So what would happen? So first of all, this is a huge decision. If somebody needs $250,000 after tax to pay off a home, well, we're going to have to take out a lot more than $250,000 out of this tax-infested IRA. In fact, TJ Reagan calculated it's going to be closer based on this current income, joint income of $89,450 before the withdrawal. It's going to take about $333,000 gross to pull out of this IRA in order to net the $250,000. So this is a huge decision, but it doesn't stop there because we got to see what tax ramifications this has. Okay, so under the let's go to the 2023 rates. Okay, this would be $92,000 total, $92,954. All right, so they take out $333,000. Remember, they got a net $250,000. Plus, it's going to throw them in a higher income bracket on their other income that they had coming in. Basically, they're going to have to cut a check to the IRS for $92,000. Big number. All right, well, what would happen if they put off the decision and they said, I don't want to pay all those kind of taxes, forget that. And in 3 or 4 years, they say, you know what, it'd be nice to pay off that home. Well, let's say they went back to the 2017 tax rules and they didn't know that. And they come back to us and say, Tony, we've changed our mind. We think we want to pay off the home. Let's go on and take the tax hit. We're fine with that. Well, what is this really going to look like? Well, remember, we're assuming now they've gone back to 2017 rates. This is going to be difficult to handle this, okay? Not will it be around $93,000 in taxes. It's going to jump to $114,000 and federal taxes. Now, folks, I don't know about you. Not many of you have probably ever had to cut a check to anybody for $114,000, much less the federal government, just to try to pay off your home. So you might say, well, Tony, what's the solution to this problem? Well, the solution is you've got to meet with somebody such as Tony Walker Financial that understands this stuff. Folks, I meet between 20 and 30 people per week. In my profession and doing this in nearly 40 years, I've met with over 15,000 people in person. I'm the owner of Tony Walker Financial. This is all we do is retirement planning, and you have the opportunity to speak to me in person about your specific situation. So why in the world would you take advantage of this free offer? Why don't you do this right now rather than sitting around waiting to see what happens in 2025? See if we can get a game plan now to do something about these taxes. To take advantage of this free offer, log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. That's TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Click on that Let's Get Started, or if you like, you can simply call us at 877-499-WALK. Well, what does the Bible have to say about all these taxes and the worries of the world and all the trials and tribulations we're going to have that are actually much greater than having to pay some more in taxes? It's got some wonderful good news, and it's very encouraging for those of you who are feeling a little downtrodden about a lot of things right now. Some good news coming your way. I'm Tony Walker. Let me get me another cup of coffee as we tackle what the Bible has to say about your money. All right, we're here at Top Golf, and state your name.
I'm Pam Crawford.
And you've been a client at Tony Walker Financial for?
About 8 or 9 years now. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
We treating you good?
Treating me good.
In fact, you just said you referred somebody to our office. We appreciate that.
I did, yes. I'm loving everything about it. Well, my brother is with
That's
you.
right.
His wife is with you also. So the loyalty, I always tell my friends about how you all return phone calls so quickly that you never let anything lay on the table. If you need assistance with anything, you're right on it before we even think about it. So all those things are just so important in helping me through the first part of the time that I've been with you guys, and as my financial situation has changed, adjusting to that and making sure that I'm comfortable with my retirement and where I'm going and how things are going to work out.
Well, that's awesome, Pam, and thank you for your business.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome, too.
Are you retired or retiring soon? Do you have a 401k, IRA, 403b, thrift savings account, or lump sum pension that you'd like to move to safer territory? Did you know that all the money you see on your 401k statement isn't really yours? Depending on your overall taxable income, the government has essentially a lien on your 401k that can tax as much as 40% of your money when you go to take it out. Tony Walker calls this the 401k tax tumor. For almost 40 years, retirement specialist Tony Walker has helped thousands of savers worry less about money by creating game plans to deal with your tax tumor. Get control of your retirement by controlling the taxes owed on it. Schedule a free meeting to see if you can reduce your tax tumor and provide a guaranteed income you can never outlive. To get started, simply log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. That's TonyWalkerFinancial.com.
If you think sitting around waiting for taxes to possibly go up in the year 2025 is painful, try having a baby. My favorite daughter, Lacey, who just the other day gave birth to her and my favorite son-in-law's third child, and me and my wife, Susan, fourth grandchild, was certainly prepared for a little pain as she joyfully sprang forth a cute little boy by the name of Beck. And seeing as though this was not Lacey's first rodeo, Lacey knew what to expect, and in terms of the pains of childbirth. In other words, the painful process involved in giving birth to a child came as no surprise to Lacey. On the other hand, us men, well, in moments leading up to childbirth, our reaction can look something like this. But it's not just painful tax law changes in 2025 that might erode our wealth, nor the upcoming days of birthing pains that await a pregnant mother. No, the Bible speaks to the world about many painful experiences we must deal with during our brief stay here on earth. Trials and tribulations that remind us that life is full of them, as they are all part of God's bigger plan for us. 1 Peter 4:12 reminds us that we should not be surprised when these fiery trials come our way and act as if something strange is happening to us. Jesus tells us in Matthew 24:6 and 7 that the pains of childbirth are all around us as evidenced by wars and earthquakes and every other disaster that might arise. What about the Apostle Paul? What did he have to say in 2 Corinthians 4:17? Well, basically, Paul felt that these trials produced in us an eternal glory that outweighed them all, and rather than dwelling on them, he even said to look to the things that are not seen versus focusing all these things that are seen. I guess when you compare all the many truly painful things that can happen to us, being forced by our government to fork over more of them in the way of taxes certainly takes a back seat. I would hope you would agree. But Tony, you ask, you are a retirement specialist and always preaching to never pay more in taxes than the law requires us to pay. Are you now saying we are not to worry over higher taxes in the future? To which I would say, of course not. What I'm saying is, yes, let us do all we can to legally keep as much of our money in our pockets, but remember, no matter how much we plan and worry over our future is uncertain at best. And with that said, here's my advice. Don't focus so much on a future that is difficult to control, but rather focus on the things of today that you can control. And regardless of the pains of childbirth that might be upon you right now or come your way in the future, know that these trials and the pain that accompany them are for our good and for His glory. Amen? Well, speaking of doing something right now for today, I've got a suggestion. Instead of just sitting there hoping taxes don't go up in the future in 2025, when these current low tax rates expire, I've got a better idea. And that's doing this, logging on right now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com to take advantage of something we call the free 10-minute fiduciary phone call. Here's how this works. When you log on to Tony Walker Financial, you're going to click on that little red box, and that information is confidentially sent to our offices. We will then arrange a phone call with myself, that's right, the owner of the company, to find out more about your situation and to see if we can help. And if we can, we're going to be meeting in person at either our Bowling Green, Louisville, or Lexington, Kentucky offices. So if that's you, if you've got more than $250,000 in retirement assets and you have no game plan and you're worried about taxes going up in the future, we need to talk. Just log on right now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. That's TonyWalkerFinancial.com, or simply call the number on your screen. Well, next week, we've got a great show in store for you next week as we talk about the 3 forms of mailbox money. But between now and then, you remember, if all else fails, you be worry-free and make it a good one.
Put your mind at ease, tell your riders, please get your seatbelts buckled, everybody buckle up.